Hi everyone, my name is Jenna Vitamanti. Thank you for joining us on University Television Presents. Today I'm joined by Boise State alumni Kelsey Messer. Kelsey serves as the head coach of Bronco Spirit, where she oversees the cheerleaders, mainline dancers, and Buster Bronco. Kelsey, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So we're just going to get right in. So for the past 12 years, you have been so heavily involved with Bronco Spirit. You were a cheerleader on the team for 4 years, then went into being an assistant coach, now the head coach for the past 4 years. What is so special about Bronco Spirit that just really keeps you involved?
Yeah, when I really boil it down, it comes down to the people. I absolutely love coaching, but it's more than just coaching the sport. I love coaching the people, and that's what brings me back every single year. I love them dearly. I can see the transformation from freshman year all the way to senior year, and it's so fulfilling to see them go off and start their careers and just embark on life. And it's the people 100%. I love them. I love coaching them. I love being around them, and I'm just so grateful that I get to do it every single day.
How many members do you have on your team this year?
So right now there are 59 athletes between cheer, dance, and mascots. Yeah, so.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
What would you consider to be Boise State Spirit Squad's big opportunities?
I think our biggest opportunity, and pretty much like any Spirit Squad around the country, is going to be funding. We get a little bit of help from the university and from athletics, but aside from that, we're a self-funded program. So we have to do fundraising throughout the entire year. It looks like in various ways. We do it through kids camps. So we run kids camps through the summer, one during the fall and one in the winter, where little kiddos get to come and learn from us and perform. So it's a ton of fun. We also sell calendars and gear, and we just get our parents and family and friends and anybody that will want to support us to support us. And that's been successful so far. Every year we just kind of have to grind and get all that fundraising in so that we have enough money to compete and order uniforms and get anything that we need equipment-wise for the team. But so far we've done a really great job. The only thing would be if there was more support from a university standpoint on continuing to aid in those efforts of funding, but we do it on our own, so not really a big deal for us.
And so besides funding, do you think there's other ways that your team could be best supported by campus?
I actually feel really supported by the people here on campus, especially in athletics. Jeremiah and Cody Gogler are two of my biggest fans, I feel like, as far as supporting me, which is awesome. I don't know if a lot of other Spirit Squad coaches get that from their administration, but I feel it 100%. I also, Marlene Trump is one of our biggest fans too. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but she was a collegiate dancer, and so she has a vested interest in the Spirit Squad and in our dance team, and she comes to practice sometimes. She dances with us on the sidelines, and she is somebody that checks in on me regularly and sees how we're doing and wants to be involved in what we do. And I mean, that's the highest level at our university. So personnel-wise, I feel really supported, and I know they'll do anything that they can from a funding perspective. It's just finding that, and we continue to get support through Bronco Sports Properties as well, and new sponsorships and people that want to support us out in the community. So it's not an effort that's unnoticed. It's just a continued effort to get more funding for us every year that we operate.
What does the role of being a mainline dancer or being a cheerleader look like?
Yeah, so it is an all year round sport. So we audition in May, and that's usually the first weekend of May. Then they get a few weeks off, and they come back in June for what we call our June camp. It's where we get all of our photos taken. It's where we run our first kids camp, and we just get everything dialed in for the season so that they can practice all summer. I guess you could say their off time is the month of July. That's the only month of the entire year that I don't see them, unless they're in town and we do workouts or anything like that. But they report back in August, 2 weeks before school starts, and then we hit the ground running. Then it's football season. We cheer at every home football game. We also travel to every away football game, which is pretty incredible. Not a lot of Spirit Squads get that opportunity. We also cheer at every home women's volleyball game, which is a lot of fun, and then every home women's and men's basketball game. And then we travel to the any postseason games. So we're going to the bowl game here this week or next weekend. So we're really excited for that. And we also travel to the Mountain West Conference tournament for basketball or any postseason basketball travel. So from August through December, we're really hitting all three sports between football, volleyball, and basketball. So there's some weeks that we have a volleyball game, a men's and women's basketball game, and a home football game. So the team is spread very thin when it comes to attending everything, because we truly have to be at everything. The entire team performs at football games, so everybody gets to go to every home football game. And then we split the team up into smaller squads for volleyball and basketball, so they have a little bit of a break in their schedule. They don't have to be at everything, but somebody has to represent the Spirit Squad at any athletic event between those sports. And then we also compete nationally, which is really amazing. And the cheerleading team competes at UCA Collegiate Nationals in January in Orlando, Florida. They compete in the D1A small co-ed division and the D1A co-ed game day division. So we're going back in about a month, and we're really excited. We placed well last year, so we're looking to come back and do even better. And then the mainline dancers compete at the NDA Collegiate Nationals in Daytona, Florida, and that happens in April. We placed third in D1A Jazz last year and third in D1A Hip Hop, and so we're coming back this year with a vengeance. We're ready to go and just crush it in both of our divisions. So if you take that into consideration, mainline gets done with nationals mid-April, and then they get about 2 weeks off, I guess you could say, but they're prepping for auditions because every member of the team retries out every year and has to re-audition. So there's no break. It literally is a year-round sport. Yeah,
definitely. It sounds like it. And so with all of that wrapped up, is there something particular as the head coach that you look forward to the most?
That's tough. Like, I love nationals because it's a culmination of so much hard work that goes into literally 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes on the floor. So I'm super excited for that. And I think just like rounding out the year, it's always so bittersweet at the end because there's so many amazing memories that we can look back on. It goes so fast, like when you look at it in the full year, the weeks might seem slow and the days might seem slow and hard and busy, but I feel like at the end of the year, it's always just really nice to look back and see what we accomplished. So those are probably like 2 of my favorite times.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I noticed you're wearing a bracelet.
Oh,
what
yes.
does that mean? What does that significance represent?
Yeah, so our team motto is PTP. It stands for Protect the Program. It's actually something that we implemented back when I was on the team, when Tobruk Blaine was the head coach. And it really just stands for anything that we do on the team as a coach, as an athlete, we are protecting the program and what has happened before us and what's going to happen after we leave. So how we conduct ourselves out in the community, how we talk to people at events, how we do in the classroom, how we're representing ourselves in the university. We always want to protect the program and ensure that we are putting our best foot forward because at the end of the day, the Spirit Squad is the face and the ambassadors of the university. We're at every athletic event, at anything that the university needs us at. And so we have to uphold an image and a standard that was set before us from our alumni and continue to build on our program. So Protect the Program is just our easy way of reminding the team and ensuring that we're always upholding that PTP standard at all times.
Yeah, that's something great that it seems like you guys are implementing. So cheer and dance programs often face the challenge of being considered a sport, not being considered a sport, being identified as athletes or not. So what are your opinions on that?
Yeah, it's really tough. So Spirit Squad, cheer and dance from a collegiate level are not NCAA sanctioned. So that means that we're not considered an NCAA sport. We don't fall under any NCAA compliance. My personal opinion is that it should stay that way. Under compliance and under NCAA regulations, that's exactly what it is. Like you're regulated, right? So the amount of hours that you practice, how you practice, it's just a lot more stringent and regulated. And when you look at our season, it would be really, really hard to be at everything that we do and compete and practice and go out in the community with more regulations. So that piece of it is one side. So I feel like not being under NCAA is fine for our programs, but I also feel like here at Boise State, we kind of get best of both worlds because we're under athletics where a lot of universities might fall under marketing or they might fall under other areas within the university under the band. And we're fortunate that we fall under athletics. So although we're not NCAA sanctioned and we're not an NCAA sport, we are considered athletes here at Boise State and fall under athletics. And there may be some nuances there where we're not always involved in everything because we're not under NCAA, but from a support standpoint and rolling up under a department, we do roll under athletics, which is important. And it means a lot because we get involved. I mean, I'm at the athletic staff meetings. I get regular communication from Jeremiah and his team, which it's not normal for a Spirit Squad for that, or at least from like friends that I've talked to that coach. So I'm grateful that way. Them not being considered athletes to me is just complete bogus because they are 100% athletes. They are athletic. Everything that they do has to take stamina, athleticism. They are incredibly athletic. So even though you're not considered a sport, does not to me mean that they're not athletes or athletic at all.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense the way that you're explaining it. So with that, there's a lot of stereotypes that also come into cheer and dance programs. So how, like, as the head coach, do you encourage your team to like really stay focused and kind of get rid of those stereotypes?
Yeah. So one thing that so like you said at the beginning, I was an assistant coach for 4 years, and I coached under 2 other head coaches, and I learned a lot. And one thing that I implemented as soon as I became the head coach was just how we talk to ourselves and how we talk to each other. And one thing that's really important to me is that we are talking positively about ourselves and about our bodies. And so eliminating things like skinny and tiny and small, like those are not words that describe an athlete. Words that describe an athlete are athletic, strong, fit. Like you have to be all 3 of those things in order to do what we do every single day. And so I feel like just changing that small behavior for people has really helped. We also, from like a mindset perspective, we have a mindset coach. His name is James Silvas. He is amazing. He comes and works with us from Las Vegas, and he's really helped shift the mindset from a lot of people come in with a negative mindset. It's a hard sport to do. There's a lot going on. You're an athlete, you go to school, you might be a boyfriend or girlfriend, right? You have your family, there's a lot going on. And so he's really helped with the positive self-talk, positive self-image. How do you see yourself? How do you build yourself up? And giving them the tools to take not only in sport, but to take out. So I would say those are 2 big things. Cheer and dance is really hard. You see the uniforms that we wear, and it's part of our sport, but shifting that mindset to a positive mindset and getting athletes to talk about themselves in a positive way and each other in a positive way, to me is incredibly important. And I feel like it's helped shape the trajectory of our program and how we talk to each other.
Yeah, speaking of that, the like shift from when you were a cheerleader on the team versus now, what does that look like?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, times are very different too. College cheer and dance is not what it used to be. There was definitely a lot more pressure on body image and what that looked like. And I mean, it's 2022. It shouldn't have happened in 2011 to begin with, but we just live in a very different society, and people are much more aware of mental health and body image in a positive way. And so it definitely has shifted, but I think there's still work to be done. And that's my job as a coach in my program. I can control what happens within those 4 walls on my team, and I do that every day to try to ensure that we're giving them a positive environment to be in, that they feel uplifted, that they feel encouraged, and that they literally get to come and be themselves. And I don't care in what form or fashion that looks like. I'm there to help them no matter what.
So if you had to list 3 of your top goals as a head coach, what would those be for you?
Okay, so my number 1 goal as a coach is to provide the best Bronco experience for my athletes, hands down. So my coach, when I was on the team, to Brooke, she would always say, like, I want to be the memory of like your good old days. And like now we talk about it, and it literally is. I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like these were the best days ever, and like the best experiences with my best friends, and I just had the most amazing time. And I want that for my team. That's like my number 1 goal, is to create an environment and create a space where they get to look back in 10, 20, 30 years, and they don't remember that one time they got mad at that one teammate for something, right? But they remember the whole picture, and they just experience what it's like to be a Boise State athlete and student, and just live and relish in what that looks like. So that's my number 1. I would say number 2 is to provide experiences beyond Boise State Spirit Squad to them. So things like bringing in our mindset coach and giving them tools and resources to move on in life, where they get to have positive self-talk and learn how to control their stress and emotions in high stress situations. Like, you go to work, you're gonna have to meet with your boss or a VP or a president, and that's gonna be stressful. So they're learning tools that they can take on with the rest of their life. Also just networking. I got my other job because of being a member of the Spirit Squad and networking with people. So I want them to be able to take those resources and networks that they build as a Spirit Squad member and take them onto their life. So A is the first is this experience here, like while you're here for these 1, 2, 3, 4 years, whatever that looks like. And then the second one would be building resources for them for the rest of their life and encouraging them they can literally do whatever they want. They are so smart, they're so talented, they can go on and be the best versions of themselves in any industry that they want, and I want them to see that. And then my third thing is to just continue growing the program. I feel like over the last 12 years, we have totally changed the trajectory of what this program looks like and the landscape of it. And just continuing that way, like nobody knew who we were 4 years ago when it comes to competition. Now we are making a name for ourselves. I mean, we're placing in the top 3 in all of the divisions that we're competing against, and competing against teams from the SEC and ACC and Pac-12, and like we're from the Mountain West. We shouldn't be doing that, but we are. Yeah. And I want to continue that. Like my goal is to go to nationals this year and set a precedence for Boise State and who we are, and continue that way. So those are probably like my 3 main goals.
Those sound like really good goals that you're setting for yourself. So just one last question before we wrap up. Is there anything else that you want to share with Bronco Nation?
Probably just like thank everybody for their support, because we would not be as successful as we are without everybody's support, and just encouraging us and being supportive of my athletes from a faculty standpoint. You know, there's times that we have to travel and miss class, and I feel like everybody's always very cooperative and understanding, so I just appreciate that. And I would say any way that you can get involved, because we're always looking for more supporters and people to come out and recognize the hard work that these teams are doing. And then when we get to nationals, same thing, just supporting us. So I just appreciate Bronco Nation and everything they've done for me. 12 years is a long time, and I'm just really grateful to still be here and still be a part of Boise State and the legacy that the Spirit Squad is building.
Yes, well, Kelsey, thank you so much for doing this with me today. It's been so great talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone so much for watching this episode of Presents, and we'll see you next time.